Look at that, Maya. They go on forever.
Do they ever stop?
It's an ordinary Tuesday night. A father steps outside with his daughter. She's maybe 7 years old, wrapped in a sweater 2 sizes too big. They've done this 100 times before, standing in the backyard, counting stars, searching for the moon. It's a ritual, a quiet, beautiful ritual that humans have repeated for thousands of years. He lifts her up, she points, and then she goes very still. Because where the moon should be, that wide, glowing face that has watched over every civilization in human history, there is nothing. No pale disk, no reflected light. Not even the faintest glow behind a cloud. Just black, just stars, just silence. He sets her down slowly, scanning the sky. His eyes move from east to west. He checks his phone. There's no eclipse scheduled. The weather app says clear skies. The air is still. The stars are burning as brightly as they always do. But the moon is gone. Not dimmed, not hidden, not moved. Gone. And somewhere across the world right now, millions of other people are looking up at the exact same sky and asking the exact same question. What just happened to our moon? Here is the first thing you need to understand, and it may surprise you. If the moon vanished at this very moment, you would not feel it. Not right away. You wouldn't be thrown into the air. You wouldn't lose your footing. The ground would stay exactly where it is. The trees wouldn't bend. The oceans wouldn't immediately rise. Because the moon's hold on us isn't violent. It's ancient. It's patient. It's woven into the slow mathematics of the solar system. The moon is roughly 384,000 kilometers from Earth. At that distance, its gravitational pull on any individual human being is almost immeasurably small. Less than the pull of a nearby mountain, less than the chair you're sitting in. What the moon does is far more subtle than ripping things off the surface. What the moon does is pull on the entire planet. It stretches the oceans. It slows the spin of the Earth. It holds our axis steady, like a gyroscope bolted to the side of a spinning top. And all of that, every last consequence, would begin unraveling the moment it disappeared. But not all at once. Some effects would arrive in seconds. Others would take hours. Some would take years. And the deepest changes, the ones that would truly reshape this world, would take millions of years to fully unfold. So let's follow it, second by second, day by day, year by year. Let's find out what Earth actually loses when it loses the moon. The first second after the moon disappears, the sky changes. Moonlight, which is really just sunlight bounced off the moon's surface, vanishes instantly. On the night side of Earth, anyone who is navigating by moonlight is suddenly standing in a darkness they've never experienced. Not the comfortable darkness of a cloudy night, a deeper darkness. A darkness that our ancestors feared for very good reason. The first creatures to respond are the ones most tuned to it. Across coral reefs in the Indo-Pacific, corals that were preparing to spawn, triggered as they have been for millions of years, by the precise phase and light of the full moon. Pause. Something is wrong. The signal that was supposed to come doesn't arrive. Reproduction stalls for an entire species in a single night. Dung beetles who navigate perfectly straight lines by reading the light band of the Milky Way are already doing just fine. But moths, who steer by the moon's angle, begin to spiral. Sea turtle hatchlings on beaches in Costa Rica crawl toward the brightest point on the horizon, which was always the moonlight reflecting off the water. Tonight, with no moon, some of them turn the wrong way. In the open ocean, nothing dramatic happens yet. The tide is still moving. The water is still following the gravitational groove carved by the moon's presence. But it's like a song that has just been cut off. The melody is still echoing in the room. It just won't be replaced. Up in orbit, astronauts on the International Space Station press their faces to the cupola window. The moon was right there 20 minutes ago. Now the sky is the same black it always is, but the familiar gray disk is simply absent. Mission Control begins fielding calls from every space agency on Earth. Every telescope array on the planet swings to where the moon should be. The data comes back clean. It isn't behind anything. It isn't dark. It just isn't. Within the first hour, the primary effect isn't physical. It's psychological. 8 billion people are awake or waking up, staring at the same sky, processing something that every single human instinct says should be impossible. The moon has been there since before life evolved on land. It has been there since before the dinosaurs. It has been there since before the oceans found their current shape. And tonight, it is not. By the end of the first day, the tides have already begun to betray us. The ocean tide we experience on Earth is the result of a gravitational tug-of-war between the moon, the sun, and the spinning planet beneath our feet. The moon is responsible for roughly 2/3 of the tidal effect we experience. Lose the moon, and the tides don't disappear entirely, but they shrink dramatically. What remains are solar tides, driven only by the sun, running at barely 1/3 the strength we've always known. Coastlines that have been shaped over millennia by the rhythm of lunar tides suddenly experience something different. Harbors that relied on high tide windows for large ships to enter find those windows narrower, less predictable, less cooperative. Fishing communities on tidal flats in South Korea and the Bay of Fundy in Canada find that the water simply doesn't come in the way it used to. The flats stay exposed longer. The creatures that depend on that rhythm, clams, crabs, wading birds, are thrown into biological confusion. In tropical shallows, the story is darker. Mangrove forests breathe with the tides. Seagrass beds depend on tidal flushing to stay oxygenated. Coral reefs that exist in the intertidal zone, the border zone that is alternately wet and dry, face an identity crisis. The water doesn't come. The exposure lasts too long. Bleaching begins. Inland, it's quieter, but not calm. Wildlife that navigates by moonlight is behaviorally lost. Wolves who howl partly in response to moonlit nights fall into different patterns. Dung beetles wander. Lions who rely on the darkness of new moon nights to hunt more successfully find the landscape permanently dim, and their behavior shifts accordingly. Every ecosystem on Earth has a thread woven through it that connects to the moon. Some of those threads are thin, some are load-bearing. Within 3 days, the scientific community has published preliminary models of what is coming. The conclusions are sobering, because the moon doesn't just control tides and animal behavior. The moon controls something far more fundamental. It controls how fast the Earth spins. This is the part where things begin to get strange. The Earth spins once every 24 hours. That is the day you know, the day your biology is tuned to, the day your agriculture is built around, the day your entire civilization is organized within. But that 24-hour day is not Earth's natural speed. Long ago, when the moon first formed, roughly 4.5 billion years ago, Earth spun so fast that a single day lasted only 6 hours. The moon's gravitational braking has been slowing Earth down ever since, steadily, over billions of years, stretching our day to the one we live inside now. Without the moon, that braking force disappears. Earth doesn't immediately spin faster. The change happens over geological time. But here's what does change almost immediately: the axial tilt. Earth is tilted at 23.5 degrees relative to the plane of its orbit. That tilt is what gives us seasons. Summer in the northern hemisphere, winter in the south, then reversed. The entire rhythmic heartbeat of the calendar year. And for billions of years, the moon has been acting as a stabilizer for that tilt, keeping it locked within a narrow range of variation. Without the moon, the tilt begins to drift. Not overnight, not in the first year, but within decades, the tilt could shift dramatically, from as low as near 0 degrees, which would mean almost no seasons at all, to as high as 85 degrees, which would mean catastrophic seasonal extremes that make our current climate look mild. Scientists call this axial chaos. Mars, which has no large stabilizing moon, experiences exactly this. Mars's tilt has swung wildly over millions of years, and Mars is a frozen desert. Within the first year of the moon's absence, the signals would be subtle. The tides would remain reduced. Coastal fisheries would struggle. Species dependent on lunar cycles would show declining reproduction rates. The night sky would be profoundly darker, profoundly more star-filled, and profoundly emptier all at once. And the calendar would shatter. Every human civilization on Earth developed its earliest calendar from the moon. The word month comes from moon. The Islamic calendar is purely lunar. The Hebrew calendar is lunisolar. The Hindu calendar, the Chinese calendar, the Celtic calendar, all of them reach back into the sky for the same source. In 1 year without the moon, every tradition rooted in its phases would require reinvention. There is something quietly devastating about that. Now we step back. Not a year, not a decade, but millions of years. The time scale on which the moon has truly shaped this planet. Without the stabilizing weight of the moon's gravity, Earth's axial tilt begins its long, chaotic drift. Over hundreds of thousands of years, the poles may tilt toward the sun for extended periods, baking what is now the Arctic with prolonged summers while plunging equatorial regions into darkness. Ocean circulation, driven in part by temperature gradients shaped by our seasons, begins to break down. The great conveyor belt of ocean currents, which carries warm water from the tropics to northern Europe, which is why London is habitable, slows and shifts. Ice ages become less regular. Monsoons become unpredictable. The climate patterns that allowed agriculture to emerge, that allowed civilization to take root in the fertile river valleys of Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indus. Those patterns may not have existed at all. There is a serious scientific argument that without the moon, complex life on land may never have developed in the way it did. The stable, predictable seasons created by our locked axial tilt allowed ecosystems to develop rhythm. Migration patterns, breeding seasons, flowering cycles. Stability over millions of years is a gift, and the moon was the one delivering it. In the long absence of the moon, Earth would become a different planet. The night sky would be wilder with stars but emptier of meaning. Evolution would take different paths. Life would adapt, it always does, but the life that emerged would be unrecognizable to us. There would be no creature that looked up at the sky and saw a familiar face looking back. Let's come back to the present. Back to that father and his daughter in the backyard. Could we survive this? Yes, probably. Humanity is extraordinarily resilient, but it would not be easy and it would not be the same. In the short term, coastal infrastructure would need to be redesigned. Harbors, seawalls, tidal energy systems, which generate electricity from tidal movement, would lose 2/3 of their output overnight. Entire communities built on tidal rhythms would need to relocate or adapt. The psychological impact would be underestimated. Every culture on Earth would grieve. Every religion that used the moon as a sacred timekeeper, and that is most of them, would face a rupture between their traditions and the sky above them. The full moon, the crescent, the new moon dark. These aren't just astronomical events, they are stories. They are the oldest stories humanity has. Astronomers would redirect their careers. The moon was our first stepping stone to space. Its gravity a useful slingshot, its surface a potential base. Without it, deep space exploration becomes immediately harder, more expensive, more distant. The night sky, paradoxically, would become more beautiful than most living humans have ever seen. Without the moon washing out the faint light of distant stars, the Milky Way would return to cities. Billions of people who have never seen the galaxy they live in, because the moon and light pollution together buried it, would look up and see it for the first time. That is perhaps the only gift in all of this. But the long-term story is one of slow, grinding instability. Technological civilization would need to monitor and eventually compensate for axial drift. We would likely launch orbital stabilizers, massive engineered satellites designed to replicate, however imperfectly, the gravitational steadiness the moon once provided. We would build climate models of unprecedented complexity. We would adapt as humans always have, but we would always know what we had lost. The moon is 4.5 billion years old. It was born in violence, in the collision of a Mars-sized body with a young, molten Earth. And from that catastrophe, debris was flung into orbit, gathering and cooling into the world we know. Some scientists believe that without that impact, without the moon forming exactly as it did, life on Earth may have taken an entirely different path. Or no path at all. For all of human history, for every civilization, every religion, every love poem ever written by moonlight, every tide that shaped every shoreline where the first human feet ever walked, the moon has been there, silently, patiently, holding things steady. We have named its craters. We have sent 12 people to stand on its surface. We have looked up at it from every continent, in every language, in every century, and seen something familiar looking back. But we have rarely stopped to understand what it is actually doing for us. Beneath the romance, beneath the mythology, beneath the poetry, the moon is infrastructure. The moon is a geological partner. The moon is a reason why Earth is the kind of world where you and I could exist. So the next time you step outside on a clear night, the next time you see that pale, impossible face rising above the horizon, look at it differently. Don't just see the moon. See the seasons it holds in place. See the tides it pulls across every coastline on Earth. See the billions of years of quiet work it has done without acknowledgement, keeping this fragile, spinning planet exactly tilted enough, exactly slowed enough, exactly stable enough for something as extraordinary and improbable as you to exist. The moon is not just a light in the sky, it is the reason the sky has ever had anyone to look up at it.